What's up, peoples? This is my live stream about the solutions to Coochie, Twat, Matrimony, Alimony payments. So I figured it out, or more to it. It goes something like this. It's like dynamics to relationships. The last time I covered this topic. Um, I was like, I had to like figure out some things within the when does a Coochie Twat start to build up an interest in, I guess, your estate, right? So I caught feelings for this John one time, right? And like the experience, it was interesting. Like when it happened, I was like my head was in the clouds, and I was like, wow, I'm in love. So that shit was weird, like. But anyway, uh, I got inspired to write a book about like love and relationships after that happened, and I was like, I'm gonna just give her half of it, you know. I don't know where it will go, but like whatever money it makes, I'm gonna give her half, right? But we didn't really end up dating. It was just like a flirt thing. So, uh, when it comes down to the money part, let's say I had like a real estate portfolio and I was making like $100,000 in rental income after all expenses paid, right? So that's the net. And I had that before I met her. So then the book thing happened, and let's say I put it in motion and I started writing the book, and the book got published. Then she would end up with uh, half, right? If we are together. So, like the first year, let's say it's dating, she's not entitled to any of the real estate income because we're not married and it's not uh, matrimony, alimony. So, let's say, for example, a wedding happened and we got that license, and then like 2 years later we got a divorce, right? So the $100,000 worth of real estate is still mine, right? Well, all the properties are still mine, so that should be protected. Like I would never uh, well, based on the formulas, it would never be proper to allow. But if we did buy two properties within the marriage, let's say I get one and she gets one, and that's how it goes. Or I could just like do that thing I was talking about before. Like when you go to heaven and you go through them pearly gates, like no angel or God could judge you and they can't say shit to you, right? So let's say I'm like, you know what? I have a large portfolio before I met her. She could have the two properties and just go about her business. So boom, that's her money, right? But the alimony, if there is a tradition, it will be like 2% now because I was with her for 2 years, right? So 2% of 100,000 is like 2,000 a year. So I think some states it's like 5 years worth of alimony, or she got to get married. If she gets married within that 5 years, then the alimony stops or something. I don't know. So now, if we borrow that formula that I used for the child support, and use it for the alimony, right? I could get an alimony refund because we could total up her total income. So now she got two properties. She got the $2,000 and whatever income she got, whatever job she got, whatever side hustle she got. So now, for the first 6 months, right, I paid the alimony. And then the next 6 months, she pays the alimony. But it's that 20% rule from the child support system. So it's like a 20% rebate to me of her total income for the next 6 months. So that would be a nice system and setup. What's up, people? Alex T says, free Diddy. Jaden Geminez, I fucked that up, says hi. Free Diddy again. Jaden says, how are you? I am chilling. I am doing great. Somebody says, free Willie. Yeah, yo. Free Willie. So, yeah, I think that's the proper way to start setting up alimony legislation for everybody. Because when you flip the script, it works out for the woman, too. So, I think the alimony is based on who violated the agreements within the marriage. And normally it has to do with like cheating, right? But then some of these coochie twats, they will like harass the fuck out of you and nag you, right? Day in and day out, and then you're like, man, fuck this shit. I gotta go get some, you know? So then you just step out, and then it's like they got what they wanted. It's a fake ass marriage. It only lasts 2 fucking years. Now she getting that alimony. So based on that, like if she only getting 2% of my income, fuck it, it's only 2%, you know? I'll go spend that shit at a strip club. So she could like roll off with that shit and keep it moving, and then I get a percentage back. So I like that system because these females, they vicious and trifling in these days. And it's like, they thought they had the upper hand because it's like their coochie twat makes a man like paralyzed and they could always like flirt with him and like, you know, like give him some sex. And then it's like, they think they get the money system on lock because the system is rigged, right, towards the female's, I guess, side of it. But now we balance the power. So men, we're going to take that shit back and yeah, we're going to keep it moving. So they're not going to try to like hijack me for damn near all my income. And cause some of these, what is that? What's that fucking, the prenups. Sometimes that shit don't fucking work at all. So some women, they just gotta agree to it. But the other ones that fight for that shit, they fighting for your money, yo. Cause they're gonna find like every fucking flaw and make up all kinds of shit on you and then cry in a courtroom just to get some of them dollars. So they could like buy Gucci and Prada and all that shit. So that's my thoughts, that's my rant. And I got another rant about archons. There's this new word floating around the internet. It's called archons, right? And I made a link about it. Not like an internet link, a connection link. So the connection is that there's something called a tachyon, right? And a tachyon moves, it's like a particle that moves faster than light. So let's say the archon, right? You got good archons. It's a supernatural being. And a bad archon. So a bad archon is like a devil or a demon. And they show up like monsters. And they could disappear and reappear and fly through the cosmos just like the good archons. And the good archons are considered angels, right? So what if your parent or sibling is a negative archon, like a demonic possessed human situation? Then it's like, it's an interesting scenario when you start to understand or try to develop understanding about like higher heavens. So my thing about the higher heavens, right? Let's say it's a negative archon, and this goes into the nagging wife, because they could be like female archons. Like the demon hole that gave birth to me, she's a goddamn negative, evil archon to me. That's in the human flesh, right? So she nags and she doesn't make any sense. I gotta start a OnlyFans, yo. But anyway, uh, yeah, the archon thing. Um, yeah. So let's say it's a nagging female, right? Because there's a bunch of them out there, and they're just psychotic. Them things are fucking psychotic. They nag everything and everyone, right? And it's like if you look on a higher scale, right? As in like, what the fuck created that? That like that person is so annoying. Like why are they here? Why type of, thought, those type of thoughts. And then like when you look at it on a higher scale, you could see that an archon is a creature, right? Created by like a bigger entity, right? And if they feed on misery, that means it's doing its job. And whatever offsprings in the supernatural realm that's like feeding off of like negative energy, then that makes them happy because they get full. Just like if you go eat a cheesesteak and you get full and you're satisfied. So it's like the supernatural thing, like the all capital God, G, capital O, capital D, it made that thing and it has a purpose. So in that sense, like it will like annoy the fuck out of you, give you a headache if you're in close proximity to one, as in like the household, like you grew up with it. So, like I said, the Coochie Twat that gave birth to me and my siblings, I believe she's a negative archon that's here on Earth. So, there's no fixing her. I can't like pray to a god to try to like make her be normal if she's psychotic according to normal circumstances on Earth. So the solution or the treatment of a person like that is you just leave it in the hands of fate, Fate, right? So you just let them be. They might end up in jail, they might end up in a psych ward, but you got to protect yourself against it and create distance away from it. So that's the best advice I could give to anybody that's dealing with it, because getting married to that thing is like a nightmare. It's unbelievable. They torment the fucking household for forever. Like it's ongoing. Like it doesn't stop at all. And it's like, how the hell do you identify one before you enter in some kind of like devil trap matrimony system? Because I be watching her and she has like normal conversations and everybody always saying like she seemed normal and she's like a normal person. So she's not a normal person. She's like off, like mentally off. So that's my rant about matrimony and archons and stuff like that. And I had another one, but I forgot it. So yeah, uh, there was a point that I was trying to make. Yeah, that's all I got. EJ Wiley gotta go.